Salutes, peoples. Welcome to the Real Big Fruit Podcast. I am your host, Big Fruit, the Michael Jordan of recording early in the morning. I'm back at it. Listen, although I am in Fort Greene on my podcast this week, I did something early in the week for the homie Lightskin Troy, and I got a hit. Yo, we need a Lightskin Troy story. Listen, man, Lightskin Troy, oof. I don't know where to begin when it comes to Lightskin Troy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell y'all, the story of Lightskin Troy. When I seen Lightskin Troy for the DOLO, straight on his Omar shit. This got to be, Troy was getting high. This got to be the top of 89. I just came home from my first juvie. It's the top of 89. This got to be around the springtime, April, May. Yeah, and why I remember it was getting warm, right? And how I remember the nigga Lightskin Troy was running around with a trench coat on. Yeah, yo, come to think of it, man. I wonder if these niggas really jacked Troy Stilo to create that character, Omar. Because Omar was running around with the trench coat and the shotgun, too. But listen, Lightskin Troy was doing that shit in 89, son. When Troy was getting high, Troy was running around with he had one of them bubble goose. Remember the goose, the long trench goose downs? He had a long trench goose down. The nigga was wearing that shit in like April and May. It was crazy hot outside. But he had that trench goose on. And he had the shotgun on him. And niggas knew what it was because Troy was a half hour to 8. Fuck 7:30. Troy was a half hour to 8. The nigga was crazy. So Troy, and he getting hot. So Troy running around doing what he do. Now at this time, we had 2 little bodegas in my hood that sold coke. Yeah, all the old heads used to go up in these 2 little stores, cop their little coke, get high, shit like that, party and all that shit. But if they had coke to sell to the party goers, that mean they had weight too. So the OGs like Troy and them niggas, they knew these niggas had big weight up in them stores. Yo, so I'm coming from my man crib, Manny P. Shout out to my boy Manny P, the Coke D. I'm coming from Manny P crib on Bedford Avenue one day. I'm for DOLO. I'm walking up Bedford towards DeKalb. Yeah, I'm gonna have a drink to this one. I'm walking up Bedford towards DeKalb, and the homie Troy comes up Kosciuszko. Now, Kosciuszko is a little side block between Lafayette and Bedford. It's a little side block. No, Lafayette and DeKalb, and it enters Bedford. It's a little side block. It's broad daylight, so, coming up the side block is nothing. But at nighttime, a nigga could lay you down on that side block. Where the mother Kosciuszko was ugly. So, as I'm walking up Bedford, I see Troy coming up Kosciuszko. Oh, shit, they go Lightskin Troy. You see Troy, trench coat, you know what it is. Oh, shit, Troy on the move. So I'm watching Troy from across the street. As I'm walking on one side, he walking on the other. I'm watching him. So when he get towards the corner, closer to the corner, he crosses the street towards my side of the street. Now, I'm a shorty. I know what it is with this nigga Troy. So I start slowing up. Like, I ain't walking into this nigga. Like, I'm slowing up. I don't know if the nigga gonna turn around, pull out a shotgun, point that shit at me. I don't know. I'm just slowing the fuck up. That's crazy ass Troy. As I slow up, he crossed the street, but he keep walking in front of me. So I'm like, what the fuck Troy up to? So I'm walking. We get to the corner, motherfucking Bedford and DeKalb. Instead of him making that left to go towards LG, the nigga Troy crossed the street. And on that corner, we got the store, the grocery store, the bodega, right on the corner of Bedford and DeKalb. I watched Troy cross the street. I ain't think none of it. I made that left turn. I'm walking towards the project. Man, next thing you know, out the peripheral, on my peripheral, I see that nigga Troy back that shotgun out right in the middle of the street. He pulled that shit out right in the middle of the street. So now I turn around. Oh shit. Troy runs up in the motherfucking bodega for the DOLO. Broad daylight. Everybody that was in front of the store, he scared the shit out of them because he got the shotgun in his hand. Everybody run the street. Troy ran up in there, back the store down. I wasn't in the store, so I don't know how he pulled the heist. I don't know what maneuvers he used, but Troy went up in there. He backed shit down. You never heard a shot. You heard the yelling and screaming when he was making his way out because you could hear him out the door. Fuck. You heard all that shit. And as Troy was trying to make his way out, one of the niggas in the store was gripped up. The nigga shot Troy through the window. Nigga hit Troy. Boom. Man, Troy dropped whatever the fuck he had in his hand. He ain't dropped that shotgun though, son. And Troy, broad daylight, in true Omar fashion, in the middle of the fucking street of Bedford Decal, in front of that motherfucking bank, Troy was letting that shit go. Broad daylight from that shotgun. Like getting them niggas up off him. You know what I'm saying? But that's the gunshot wound Troy was running around with when me and Butter ran into him and he was fucked up. Troy ain't go to no hospital, none of that shit. Troy dealt with that shit, how he had to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? But that was the gunshot wound he had when me and Butter ran into him a few days later or a week later, running around in 345 in the back edges. You know what I'm saying? But Troy was different, son. Listen, like I told you, I was in DFY in 88 popping out on a home visit. So I never got to really be around Troy. It's some niggas in the hood who used to be around him. I never really got to be around him. I just got to see the nigga in action. You understand what I'm saying? I just got to see the nigga in action on several occasions. And man, in 88, when them niggas was banging it out with Swells, listen, man, salute to the big homie Swells. He just went to the parole board the other day. I hope they cut him loose. It's been 33 years. Let the brother go. Shout out to Swells. But when Swells was holding LG down and he was going at it with the niggas, man, Swells only had a handful of niggas, man. Swells was short-armed, but them niggas was strong. Them niggas was letting it go. He had Rashawn. That nigga is a half hour to 8. I don't say 7:30 no more. Rashawn was a half hour to 8, just like Troy. And yo, them niggas used to be going at it, son. At it. And Troy, Troy was the illest though. Troy was the illest. Lightskin, pretty nigga, white tee, vest on, gun on his hip, dare nigga to say something stupid. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I seen Troy in his rarest form. I seen Troy in action. You know what I'm saying? That nigga let them niggas in that bodega have it for the DOLO. Troy went up in there for DOLO. Came up out there with that coat. He got popped in the process, but he got what he came for, and he backed them niggas down for the DOLO. For DOLO. You know what I'm saying? Troy probably went up in there and didn't even go for the bonus because Troy was getting high. Troy probably went up in there, snatched enough coke, get high, some stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? And fucked around and got shot in the process. But he let it go. He made a movie, Broad Daylight. May 89. In Bed-Stuy. Yeah, that nigga Troy was wild for the night. I just wanted to jump on here and oblige the old timer to jump in my DMs and in my comments like, yo, son, I need something more on that nigga Troy. You know what I'm saying? I try to resurrect the real ones. You know what I'm saying? I just did the joint yesterday for Wemo and 50 Cent. Rest in peace, 50 Cent. So I try to resurrect the real ones. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing personal. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no side hopping nigga. I ain't picking no favorites, none of that shit. I'm giving you what I can give you. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of shit out there I want to give you. I can't. But I give you what I could give you. You know what I'm saying? So I jumped up here to give y'all this light-skinned Troy heist. And listen, man, I'm going to say this before I go about Troy and that fucking show The Wire. I'm not a hater. I love the show. I was one of their biggest fans. I was tuned in. I was mad as a motherfucker when they tried that shit in season 2 with the Russians. I'm glad they switched it back to season 3 and went back to the hood. You know what I'm saying? I love The Wire. That was my shit. The illest shit they ever put on television. Right? But when it comes to the character Omar, son, I know every hood had an Omar, right? Every hood had a nigga running around putting shit under pressure. Every hood had one of those. But when I think of Omar, I'm like, oh shit. Troy, light skin. Omar, black as a motherfucker. See that? That's how you switch shit up. Troy was getting high. Omar on his gay shit. See how they switched it up? But what they didn't switch up was the pressure he had on niggas, the shotgun, the trench coat, the pressure he put on niggas. Like, and rest in peace, Michael Williams. Like, he was from Brooklyn, my nigga. He knows some niggas that rip and ran in that new Troy. Better believe it. I really wonder, son, if that character was built off of light-skinned Troy. I really do. Just like the little nigga Donut, the car stealing nigga. That was Little Weeze all day long, son. Little Weeze was jumping in and out of big shit since he was 12. Like, I really wonder, son. I ain't capping here, son. I really wonder. That's a personal wonder for myself. Like, damn, I really wonder if these niggas jacked my hood. You know what I'm saying? But if they did, you know what they say, you got to emulate the best to be the best. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? Word the mother. Listen, man, I just wanted to get up in here and give Troy his props. Let Troy know he is gone but not forgotten. We salute him. He was a real one. When I say a real one, I mean Troy was a real one. So, in remembrance of Troy, rest in peace, homie. This one was for you. And last night I did one for 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Remo. I will be back tonight live at the Foodie Lounge, 7 p.m. with the homie Really Well. I am still in Fort Greene. But I had to double back to NA Rap and show Troy some love. So until next time, salute. It's your boy Big Fruit. I am out of here.